Imagine a team standing at the edge of transformation, a new season, new faces, and battles that could reshape everything in Las Vegas. That's exactly where the Las Vegas Raiders are right now. With just 1 week to go before the rookies report to camp, and veterans trailing just a few days behind, the Silver and Black are stepping into what might be the most critical part of their season, training camp. Why is it so important? Because this is where questions turn into answers, where the roster takes shape, and where starting spots are either earned or lost. Today, we're diving into 5 position battles that could define the Raiders' 2025 campaign. Some players might be neck and neck, but only a few will earn that starting nod. Let's start with a spotlight on the cornerback battle. Two names are at the center, Yokorian Bennett, and some emerging competition. Oda reports showed Bennett running with the second unit. That raised eyebrows. Now some point to a lingering shoulder issue. Others say it's about consistency. Either way, defensive coordinator Patrick Graham didn't hold back. He made it clear. Bennett's missed a lot of time, and that matters. In his first 2 seasons, injuries sidelined him repeatedly. And when you're trying to build a defense that can stand against the AFC's best, availability isn't optional. It's everything. Head coach Antonio Pierce is watching closely because reliability might be the key that decides who locks down that corner spot. Before we get into more crucial Raiders updates, a quick reminder. If you're a true member of Raider Nation, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and smash that bell icon so you never miss breaking updates, inside stories, and weekly training camp battles. Now, let's jump back into it. Now, here's where it gets intense. The Raiders coaching staff may be signaling something bold. Yokorian Bennett might not be their Week 1 starter. That's a shocker, considering his flashes of brilliance when healthy. But in football, potential only goes so far. Consistency and availability win jobs. Bennett has a mountain to climb, and standing in his way, rookie Darian Porter, a surprise name already running with the first-team defense. That alone says a lot. Porter's not just fast and physical. He fits seamlessly into Patrick Graham's zone-heavy cover 3 scheme. He's long, he's rangy. He plays with patience and power. Everything the Raiders want in an outside corner. But let's not count Bennett out just yet. When he's healthy, he plays like a top 15 corner. Tape doesn't lie. He's sticky in coverage, quick to break on the ball, and brings that edge you want in big moments. If he lights up training camp, shutting down guys like Jacoby Myers or even Brock Bowers, the coaching staff won't be able to ignore it. Still, the Raiders seem to be leaning Porter's way. Why? Scheme fit. His traits check every box this defensive staff loves: size, length, zone IQ, and the ability to disrupt passing lanes. Bennett, on the other hand, is smaller, quicker, and thrives more in man coverage, a mismatch for Graham's system. And don't forget Eric Stokes, who appears locked in as one of the starting corners. His success under a similar scheme in Green Bay makes him the safest bet in the room. So the real fight? Bennett versus Porter. Experience versus upside. One has NFL reps. The other fits the blueprint. This battle isn't just about camp snaps, it's about who shapes the identity of the Raiders secondary moving forward. While the battle at cornerback is grabbing early headlines, make no mistake, the heart of this year's Raiders camp is on the offensive line, specifically at right tackle. This isn't just a position fight, this could shape the entire offense. Right now, DJ Glaze holds the edge. Last season, he wasn't just a surprise, he was a statement. A rookie third-round pick who wasn't expected to start, but took the job and never gave it back. Even after Thayer Munford recovered from injury, Glaze stayed locked in. That tells you everything about how this staff sees him. But this summer, there's a new challenger, Charles Grant. Grant might be raw, yes, coming from a smaller program and still learning NFL tempo, but he's athletic, powerful, and coachable. His upside? Tremendous. His challenge? Big. He'll need to sharpen his footwork, adjust to the playbook, and learn how to slow the game down in real time. And here's the twist. Reps make all the difference. DJ Glaze already has over 1,200 NFL snaps under his belt. That's invaluable. It's one thing to look good in drills. It's another to handle elite edge rushers under live fire. But if Grant shows even 90% of Glaze's production, the Raiders staff might start dreaming bigger. Some already whisper that Grant could be groomed for the left tackle spot, possibly replacing veteran Colton Miller in the future if an extension doesn't happen. That's a bold thought, but not entirely far-fetched. Still, there's a balance between long-term planning and protecting your quarterback now. Glaze is solid, battle-tested, and improving fast. The Raiders are in win-now mode, and protecting the edge is non-negotiable. So keep your eyes on this one, because what happens at right tackle could be the difference between a playoff run and another rebuild. Even if Charles Grant doesn't win the right tackle job this summer, one thing is clear: he's not just another name on the depth chart. He's raw. He's untested. But Grant has something coaches can't teach: natural talent and powerful upside. He'll be behind DJ Glaze in the pecking order for now, sure. And yes, there's a real chance this battle won't even materialize fully in camp. But if you're building for the long haul, you don't take your eyes off a guy like this. Some scouts actually projected Grant as a better guard than a tackle coming out of college. He has the frame, the leverage, and the power to thrive on the interior. But the Raiders? They've got a different vision. They're keeping him outside at tackle, betting on his potential to develop into a long-term edge protector. And that's not crazy. Starting caliber tackles in the NFL are a rare breed. Elite ones? Even rarer. You might find 20 teams with guys they trust to hold down the edge every snap. The rest? Constantly looking for upgrades. If Grant flashes even a glimpse of that irreplaceable upside, the Raiders will keep molding him into that future starter. Still, here's a thought the staff shouldn't ignore. Why not try him at guard too? If one of the interior linemen goes down and Grant is the best option available, why not plug him in? Versatility only makes the line stronger. No matter where he lines up, Grant is one of the most intriguing young players on this roster. Whether it's in camp or that first preseason game, expect plenty of eyes on #71. Let's swing over to the defense, where another position fight is quietly brewing. Many assume Isaiah Pola-Mao is already locked in as the Raiders' starting safety. But hold that thought, because this battle might not be as settled as it seems. Pola-Mao has undeniable potential. He's physical, smart, and brings leadership to the field. But is he the perfect fit at free safety? That's the real question. If there's one position on defense where speed, vision, and instinct collide, it's free safety. And for the Raiders, that position is far from settled. All signs point to Isaiah Pola-Mao stepping in as the starter. But let's be honest, he may not be the perfect fit for what Patrick Graham wants in a single high safety. In this system, that player isn't just a tackler. He is the last line of defense. Think Earl Thomas in his prime, roaming the deep middle, covering ground in a blink, and breaking on the football with deadly precision. That's not Pola-Mao's game. Sure, he has straight line speed, but in the NFL, that's not enough. He lacks the burst and agility needed to flip his hips, redirect, and cover deep route sideline to sideline. And in a cover 3 heavy defense, that's a red flag. Enter Thomas Harper. This second-year safety has been quietly rising through the ranks. During OTAs, Harper began rotating in with the first team. And when a player's getting those reps this early, it means something. It means the staff sees starter potential. Harper's transition into Patrick Graham's scheme has been smooth. Last year, he flashed in limited snaps. This year, he's back with better grasp of the system, sharper instincts, and a growing role. The Raiders didn't hesitate when they claimed him. They wanted him fast, and they got him. While other safeties like Cameron Richardson and Trey Taylor are buried on the depth chart, Harper is right in the mix, fighting for that single high role. And here's the likely twist. The Raiders may not settle on just one. Expect them to deploy big nickel packages often, Isaiah Pola-Mao and Jeremy Chin covering underneath, with either Harper or Lonnie Johnson as the deep safety. That kind of flexibility could be a key part of Graham's defensive chessboard. So, while Pola-Mao might have the edge today, Harper is very much in this race. It's one of the most intriguing battles in camp, and it might not be decided until the final preseason whistle. And remember, this is just one of several crucial matchups shaping up for Vegas. Darian Porter versus Yokorian Bennett, DJ Glaze versus Charles Grant, Thomas Harper versus Isaiah Polamau. Every snap, every rep matters. And up next, one of the most physical showdowns in camp, Malcolm Koonce versus Tyree Wilson. This one's personal, and it's heating up. When Josh McDaniels was fired and Antonio Pierce took the reins, the defense shifted. One of the biggest winners? Malcolm Koonce. Given the green light, Koonce didn't hesitate. He stormed onto the scene, dominated the edge, and left Tyree Wilson rotating inside as more of a plug-and-play tackle. Koonce was everywhere, relentless off the edge, stacking pressures, and commanding serious snap counts. At one point, he took nearly 85% of the reps on the outside. That's not a rotation. That's ownership. And now, things get complicated. Koonce is entering a contract year. If he stays healthy and produces like he did under Pierce, he's playing for a deal that could crack $20 million per year. That's major motivation, and it shows in his urgency. On the other hand, Tyree Wilson isn't just a body in the room, he's a first-round investment. A physical freak with rare traits. But so far, his production hasn't matched the hype. After a quiet season last year, this is a defining moment. Year 3 is usually make or break for top draft picks. So how will the coaching staff balance it? Does Koonce keep dominating the edge while Wilson shifts inside again? Or does Wilson finally break through and demand more snaps? Make no mistake, this isn't just a depth chart debate. It's the future of the Raiders' pass rush. Koonce is the proven performer. Wilson is the projected star. But only one will take the Lions' share of snaps opposite Max Crosby. And with both players fighting for their futures, one for a contract, the other for validation, this is a camp battle you cannot ignore. The Raiders face a dilemma, and it's not just about this season. Malcolm Koonce, entering the final year of his deal, is playing with everything on the line. If he posts double-digit sacks and continues his dominance, his price tag will skyrocket. But here's the catch. Las Vegas may not be able to afford him. On the flip side, Tyree Wilson is under contract for at least 3 more years, thanks to the rookie 5th-year option. And while he's younger, cheaper, and loaded with potential, the question is, can he prove he belongs? Even if Koonce isn't fully healthy in camp, that doesn't guarantee Wilson wins the job outright. Taking over a position is one thing. Keeping it is something else entirely. Wilson has the frame, he has the reach, but he hasn't shown the ability to dominate off the edge against elite NFL tackles. And pushing him inside might not be the answer either. His power looks overwhelming on the edge, but against NFL guards, that strength doesn't shine the same way. That's where this battle becomes about more than playing time. It's about identity. What does this defense look like long-term? Do the Raiders re-sign the proven producer in Koonce and roll forward? Or do they bank on the long-term ceiling of Wilson and hope it clicks? If Koonce explodes for a 12-sack season, the front office may have no choice but to get creative. Push cap space into the future. Restructure veteran contracts. Maybe even shift priorities. Because if Koonce is clearly the better player, the team can't afford to lose him just to protect a draft pick. And if Tyree Wilson can't match that level soon, trade talks or roster decisions might not be far behind. Let's talk about the battle no one's hyping, but everyone should be watching. The interior offensive line, especially the guard spots, might be the least stable unit on the Raiders roster heading into camp. On paper, it looks settled. Dylan Parham at left guard, Alex Kappa at right guard. But here's the problem. Paper doesn't win battles. Parham has struggled with consistency. Kappa, while once a Pro Bowl caliber player, hasn't looked like that version of himself lately. If his recovery hasn't gone as planned, the Raiders might already be thinking about alternatives. And those alternatives? They're not just backups, they're pushing for real roles. There, Munford, mostly known as a tackle, has been getting snaps at guard. He's powerful, experienced, and could bring stability if the starters slip. Caleb Rogers, though less proven, has traits that suggest he could sneak into the mix if camp goes sideways for the incumbents. And don't forget Will Putnam, a gritty, underrated rookie who made the 53-man roster last year and has only improved since. Then there's Jared Hufford, a mountain of a man from Iowa State, 6'4", 330 pounds and 30-plus reps on the bench press. That kind of strength doesn't sit quietly on the sidelines. The truth is, this may be the most wide-open battle on the team. If Parham and Kappa don't assert themselves early, they won't just be challenged, they could be replaced. With O-line coach James Craig known for rotating players during camp and demanding physicality, expect a true war in the trenches this summer. Because protecting Aiden O'Connell, or whoever takes snaps under center, starts inside. And if the Raiders want to control the line of scrimmage, they can't afford to get this position wrong. If there's one area on the Raiders' offense that feels like it's being held together by duct tape and raw potential, it's the guard positions. Right now, the plan looks simple. Dylan Parham at left guard and Alex Kappa at right guard. But when has the NFL ever followed the script? Parham's already dealing with injury issues, and there's a growing sense inside the building that he might not be reliable long-term. It's not out of the question that the Raiders move on from him sooner than later, especially if guys like Thayer Munford or Caleb Rogers show they're ready. Munford is no longer just a backup tackle. He's been taking legit snaps at guard, and he looks the part. Caleb Rogers, a mid-round rookie, has quietly become a name to watch. He's physical, aggressive, and hungry to prove himself. He's taken reps at left guard and isn't shy about making his presence felt. Then there's Jordan Meredith, currently projected as the backup center, but don't be surprised if he gets first-team reps at guard. If he turns out to be the most consistent option, the Raiders won't hesitate to plug him in. And let's not forget Jared Hufford, the rookie mauler out of Iowa State. He's got that edge, big, mean, and strong. Maybe not ready to start now, but he could force his way into the mix later this season. What makes this all more chaotic is the uncertainty surrounding Kappa's recovery. If he can't get back to his old self, the Raiders will be forced to pivot. This isn't just about who starts week 1. It's about who finishes the season as the core of the line. By the time week 10 rolls around, the Raiders' interior could look completely different. Parham? He could break out and become a long-term starter. Or he could follow the path of countless linemen who never took that next step. But let's not rule out the idea that he finds his rhythm like Damian Lewis did in Seattle. Lewis was criticized early in his career. By year 4, he was dominant and got paid like it. Maybe Parham follows that arc. And that's what makes this so fascinating. We're not just watching position battles, we're watching careers evolve. With camp just days away, this is the position group to monitor. Because one thing's clear, the Raiders are building something in the trenches. And whoever steps up at guard could help define the identity of this offense for years to come.